Hey there folks, it is game number 4, Zerg player Riser up against Predator of our best of 5 series for the Gonzy Community Cup Finals. It's been a pretty crazy series so far. Every single game has been completely and widely different. And we have our Terran player who is ahead after a really wonky base trade that just happened in the last game. So we'll see what's up the sleeve of our Zerg player here, because I think that if he lets his opponent kind of get off to that mech side of things, he knows that it's really tough for him to beat. Though I wouldn't give either player a big advantage when it comes to skill. We've seen both these players play just tip-top through this, and just having really cool strategies. But it's generally been up to our Terran player to be able to make the call as to how things are going to happen. He is usually the one dictating the outcome of the game. But it looks like we're about to have an 11 pool. Yay, 11 pool. Up against our Terran, who looks like he is going to... might just be going command center first here, unless he throws... no, there's going to be throwing down a gas. So, we actually have a gas afterwards as well. What you need to do now against a Terran player, if you don't get gas for your Zergling all in, you, one, are probably going to have a tough time breaking down their front door. And two, if they have one Reaper out, they could just kite forever. In this game, we don't have a really early scout out from the Terran player. We've seen it on some of the other maps where, you know, there's been a little bit more uncertainty. But in this one, because he's going to be making a Reaper, he won't really need to send out an SCV anywhere. And as soon as he comes and sees that there's no base, he should be pretty clear as to what's going on. We already got about 50... you know, pieces of gas, points, clumps, canisters of gas that have already been mined. So we'll have that speed start up here pretty soon. Speed takes quite a while in order to get done, 110 seconds. And the Queen's going to come out, and we've essentially had a cease in any more workers being produced. So it'll just be a big pile of Zerglings in a second, getting out another Overlord. He will come in and see the Reapers are happening here. So Reapers are still obviously good in these positions. They do a lot of damage. But with the speed on the way, we'll see if they can really stem the tide of the anarchy, the extra anarchy that's going to be coming down his way. So the Reaper will be able to see pretty quickly what's happening. We have our first batch of Zerglings being hidden right now. He's trying to hide it from the Reaper that he knows is out on the map. The Reaper is just going to immediately start heading home, which is smart. Command center does get cancelled. Factory is on the way. Another barracks, another 2 barracks are going down. I would have thought a bunker would have made a bit more sense. And potentially getting down a thicker wall, but he doesn't know that it's a baneling bust coming. He just knows that there are lots of Zerglings that should be on the way. No more drones, just Zerglings. The Terran player has the opportunity during all this to obviously keep making workers while he's making defensive units, but his complete lack of a bunker in this position here is a little bit concerning. Maybe even at the back here, that if it gets busted, at least the bunker won't take damage at the same time. 7 banelings happening. Where did he rally those? Rallied him back home for whatever reason. Hopefully he doesn't run them all the way back home. There we go. And there's nothing at the top of the wall to greet him as now. Now the bunker's going to go down, and it's going to be way too late. Supply block happens. Zerglings are going to take out that one worker. Oh, the banelings don't quite get the best hits. Just get about 5 with that, though. So the Zerglings do have control in here, but there's enough workers that if he defends some of his Marines, he might be able to hold on here. He's actually sent a few Zerglings to try to focus down the factory, which is an interesting decision. I think hiding a couple Zerglings and making a couple Banelings over here might work out a little bit better. This Hellion should bounce out, but he's still going to try to get this factory finished up. No, he's going to leave it now. The Hellion obviously gets those nice splash damage lines. Terran player is no longer supply blocked. He's lost enough stuff. We see the wave of red on the minimap starting to move across. Still completely all in essentially here from the Zerg player. Does not look like he has any intentions to try to slow down. Pretty good shot from the Hellion there. Factory just burns down. That's pretty unfortunate actually. Getting out some more Hellions would have really helped here. And most of the Marines have gone down, as well as some of the other units. One of these supply depots does finish, so we might be able to finish this wall off again here pretty soon. Marines about to pop, more workers coming off the line. It's just, the Zerg player's on one hatch Zerglings, and as cool as that sounds, unfortunately, it does mean that your production is a lot less. It does get a couple of those Marines there, but the wall is not tight yet. Another big pile of Zerglings heading across. He has been very good at making sure he hits his injects for the most part here. Gotta keep his timings going. Wish he could just auto inject. Have like a little right click on that and it just keep injecting. Now it's all supply depots in the wall. I would have thought he might have lifted one of the bunkers and put it into the wall just to be able to give it a bit more durability so that he doesn't get as supply blocked when it busts. But you can see that he's got 19 of 51. He's made more than enough supply depots in the back here that hopefully a bust won't stop him. And it looks like 5 or 6 banelings is the golden number. Still, you can see lots of red moving across the map. Units wise, 13 workers to 13. The Terran player does have mules and does have the opportunity to keep making workers while making Marines. Uses the baneling to finish killing off the rest of that wall. Baneling blows up on a few of the SCVs. A little bit of miss micro there on some of the Zerglings. We'll get most of them cleaned up. Barracks is on fire. If he used 3 barracks to wall this off, he'd probably be able to survive. Right now it looks as though he's just going to keep trying to make Marines. Behind this, his opponent's just making Zerglings, and the Terran player doesn't really know at what point does the all-in stop. For myself, after I would have done the first all-in and all that damage, I probably would have been back home droning up. But we can see the Zerg player has no intention of trying to end this, take this game on any later. Alright, so we've got quite a bit of Marines. They obviously have no upgrades, no stim. But the Terran player is going to all-in at the same time as the Zerg player is all-inning. Pretty good splits right now. Picks off a couple more workers. So this is essentially what the Terran player has. Oh, we can bring up the units tab. It tells a funnier story. 13 workers to 6 and a mule. 4 of those workers are a part of this all-in. Which, yes, the Zerg player is not making the most efficient use of. But he knows he's in a good spot now. With all these workers pulled, all he has to do is, keep fighting things. He'll be alright. Doesn't want to lose his overlords at all if he's got a choice, though. Still, just nothing but more lings in production. Rallying them back at home, we'll get enough out. Does have a second hatchery finished now. He got enough money built up through all that. But could use another queen, the looks of it. Terran units get a little bit split up here. We'll lose those workers. He's trying to make some more Marines back at home to rally it out. Being as all-in as possible. He's got 9 supply. We see the Zerg player very good at doing wraparounds and stopping any type of stutter steps. We've got the series tied up now. It is 2-2 going into the final game of the Gonzy Community Cup.